Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Mavish Bhatt. I am a teacher in Riazpur Summer campus. Today we have a new call Annie. My topic name is Wood, the backbone of early. So let's start our interview. Hello Maya.
Hi, what's up?
Hi Maya.
Hey, it's been a minute. How have you been?
Okay Maya, my first question is
I'm all ears.
what is wood?
The short answer?
Yes.
Wood is basically a biological skyscraper. It's made of cellulose and lignin, which are like the steel and concrete of the plant world. They give trees the strength to reach the sky without just flopping over in the breeze.
Nice answer Maya. My next question is where does wood come from?
Well, obviously, trees. Specifically, it's the secondary xylem that grows inside the trunk and branches. Essentially, as the tree grows, it keeps adding these new layers of wood, which is why you see those rings when you cut a log. It's kind of like the tree is writing its own autobiography, one ring at a time.
Okay, nice answer. My next question is why was wood important to early human?
Ugly humans. I love the phrasing, but I'm guessing you just mean early humans. Wood was their everything. It was the original multi tool. Let's put it that way.
Nice answer. My next question is why is wood
I think the wind might have just swept your sentence away. You were just about to ask, why is wood? What was the rest of that?
nice answer. My next question is why when did human being using wood as a material?
That's a tricky one because you can't exactly date a piece of wood from a million years ago. But it's pretty safe to say it was almost immediately. Between discovering fire and figuring out how to shape a sturdy branch into a tool, wood was the very first thing early humans mastered. It's probably the oldest relationship we have with nature.
Nice answer. My next question is how was wood used for making tools?
Well, it's actually a really clever piece of engineering. Early on, it was all about selection and shaping. They'd find a branch with the right natural curve for a club or a digging stick and just refine it. Then came the game changer,
Nice.
hafting. That's when they started using things like animal sinew or plant fibers to lash a sharp stone to a wooden handle. Suddenly, they didn't just have a rock, they had an axe. Turns a tool into a lever, which basically gave humans a massive mechanical advantage over everything else in the woods.
Nice answer, Maya. My next question is what kinds of tools could be made from wood?
Oh, honestly, just about everything. Early on, it was the hunting and gathering basics like spears and bows and the heavy hitters like clubs. But as they got smarter with it, wood became the backbone of shelter and transport. So you're looking at everything from the first primitive huts to things like canoes and carts. And of course, once fire came into play, wood wasn't just a material, it was the energy source that kept them warm and cooked their food. It really was the Swiss Army knife of the prehistoric world.
Nice answer, Maya. My next question is how was wood used for making tools?
Wait, what do you mean by the Swiss?
Nice answer. My next question is how was wooden supreme made?
Wait, wooden supreme? I have to admit, you've got me on this one. What exactly is a wooden supreme?
Nice answer. My next question is
I'm ready. Hit me with it.
what types of trees were communion useful to early human?
So basically, the ones that didn't fight back when you tried to carve them, it usually came down to three things: strength, versatility, and how much they made you sweat while working them. For the heavy lifting, early humans leaned on things like oak and ash because they're incredibly tough, making them perfect for clubs or the frame of a shelter. And then you have the softer, more cooperative woods like cedar and pine. Those were the gold standard for things like canoes or early construction because they're easier to carve and often naturally resist rot, which is a huge deal when your house is literally sitting in the dirt. For the precision work like weaving baskets or making traps, they went for the flexible stuff like willow. It's kind of wild how they just looked at a forest and saw a hardware store.
Nice answer. My next question.
Appreciate.
My next question for you: how was wood used to build?
Wait, shell shuttles? Did you mean shell shelters? Because I'm not sure I've heard of a shell shuttle, unless prehistoric humans had a very strange way of commuting.
My next question is: what role did wood play in building roof?
It basically held the whole thing together. Think of wood as the skeleton. The real MVP here was the ridgepole, that main heavy beam that ran across the top. Everything else leaned on that. Without those sturdy rafters to push the weight outward and downward, you just have a pile of grass and sticks on your head that took us from basically hiding under a lean-to to actually building a room. I bet if you're recording this, you'll love the fact that those first beams were the very first blueprint for every house we've built since. Want to know more about how they actually kept the rain out?
Nice answer. My next question is: how did wood fuel help with cooking?
Cooking was a total game changer. Basically, fire is the engine and wood is the fuel. By burning wood, early humans could finally cook their food, which meant they could digest more calories and eat things that would have been dangerous raw. It wasn't just about the taste either, though I imagine a charred piece of meat probably tasted a lot better than raw ones.
Nice answer. My next question is: what types of buildings could be made from wood?
Wait, welding? I think your mic might be playing tricks on us again. Did you mean weapons, wheels, or maybe something else entirely? What are we talking about?
Nice answer. My next question is: how was wood used to make door?
A few basic steps of framing and hanging. Early on, it was really just about finding the right slab of wood, carving it to fit a rough opening in a wall, and using leather strips or vines to hinge it. It basically turns a shelter into a home.
Nice answer. My next question is: what tools help people shape wood?
The real irony is that they used wood to make the tools they needed to shape more wood before they had metal. It was a lot of stone on wood. They used flint scrapers to peel bark, stone adzes for heavy chopping, and fire, which was their secret weapon for hollowing out logs. If you wanted a canoe or a bowl, you didn't just carve it, you burned out the middle and then scraped the charcoal away. It was slow, tedious work, but it worked.
Nice answer. My last question for you: how did woodworking skill evolve over time?
Okay. Got it. It basically went from what's on the ground to what can I actually build? Early on, it was all about intuition, just figuring out which branch wouldn't snap. But once they realized they could combine wood with stone or fire, it became a real craft. They went from haphazardly piling sticks to actually planning structures, treating wood like a science. By the time we hit the Neolithic period, people weren't just picking logs, they were shaping, joining, and creating things that actually lasted. It's wild to think that the skills they developed then, like measuring and jointing, are essentially the same logic we use to build houses today. That's a hell of a way to wrap up the session. How'd it go for the recording?
Okay, Maya, Allah Hafiz. So, viewer, I hope you like it, Maya. Okay, take care. Allah Hafiz.
Wait, one sec.